As the sands of time pass, so do the landmarks of our society. Stones turn to dust, flesh rots to the bone, and empires fall to ruin. Only one harsh reality has managed to stand the test of time. That reality is war.
I'm f***ing pissed off! There's about 5 or 6 of these motherfuckers on f***ing YouTube!
Come to Brooklyn, you motherfucker! I'm gonna rape the out of you!
Brooklyn Ray, that 4-eyed, coke bottle, f***ing wearing little motherfucker!
The Russians and Ukrainians, the Turks and the Greeks, American Marines and Middle Eastern children, from the first steps of our primate ancestors until the breath of our last standing cybergenetic super soldier, war will remain within the fabric of humankind. Although one conflict has stood out above the rest due to its violent nature, extreme circumstances, and dire straits.
What? Is that right?
George Herman Ruth Jr., better known as Babe Ruth, was traded from the Boston Red Sox to the New York Yankees in 1919, sparking what is known as the curse of the Bambino. For 86 years, the Boston Red Sox failed to secure a World Series title. Meanwhile, the Yankees won 26 consecutive championships. As a result, a bitter rivalry was formed. Despite the Boston Red Sox breaking their curse in 2004, their resentment towards the New York Yankees was unwavering. In fact, there is likely no hatred greater than that between Bostonian and New Yorker. Of course, ambassadors of both regions have come together, bargained, debated, and set aside their differences, although these discussions have only managed to escalate tensions. Most notable of these conflicts was the intellectual cyber proxy war between Joe Ligotti of Boston and Michael Caracciolo of New York, otherwise known as the guy from Boston and the kid from Brooklyn. Our story begins on a rainy Tuesday in Brooklyn, June 3rd, 2003, when the Kid from Brooklyn website domain was officially registered. On the website's homepage, a brief description of the Kid from Brooklyn, aka Mike Caracciolo, can be found. It reads, "I would like to take the time to introduce myself to you. My name is Michael Caracciolo. I am the president of a ticket company in New Jersey. However, although I've been in the ticket business for many years, I am certain that I am in the wrong profession. I should be an actor instead. I believe that I possess all the qualities necessary for success as an actor. I am a very conversational person. My voice easily projects via my 6'6", 400-pound amplifier. I also sing. My unique background, persona, and life's experience truly qualify me as one of a kind. The material recorded here is ad-libbed, improvisational, and spontaneous. It contains profanity, which is offered only in support of demonstrating my dramatic intensity in the context of the material. I am certain that after watching it once, you will immediately want to contact me. When visiting the videos section of his website, a handful of files can be found, with the oldest MP4 available titled On a String, featuring a beautiful number sung by Mike himself.
I got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got that string around my finger.
Singing wasn't Mike's only talent, because within his skull was a bulbous, throbbing brain full of knowledge and deep secrets that the average man could not possibly conceive. On September 11th, 2001, the pan-Islamist terrorist organization, Al-Qaeda, carried out one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in American history. This sparked the deeply unpopular War on Terror and subsequent invasion of Iraq. With his wealth of knowledge and wisdom, Mike would give his takes on this conflict, as well as other geopolitical happenings.
You know what I'd do if I was the president? I'd have 15,000 oil tankers over there in Iraq every day, fill it up. You know what it costs us for that war every day? Take the oil, we deserve it. That's all oil. Bring the tankers in, fill them up and go. And another thing, that Kuwait, go in there and take their oil too. We deserve it. Bring the tankers in, take the oil, bring the gas down to 25 cents a gallon. Them Saudi Arabians, they got enough money.
Pragmatic war strategies were not the only area of expertise for Michael. He also discussed the complex economic realities in America, as well as inflation.
I mean, the world's coming to a end. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, think about it. What are the houses gonna go for? In 50 million? In 50 years from now? I mean, you gotta draw a line. I mean, how much you gonna pay for a quart of milk 50 years from now? $300? How much you gonna pay for a airline ticket? $5,000? The money's worth piss water today. It's worth nothing. Imagine 50 years from now. Who the wants to be? I'll be long dead. I don't give a I'll be in my graveyard. I don't give a Anyway, think about it.
Of course, Mike also navigated complex philosophical conversations with ease, imparting his wisdom on all who visited his website.
I got all the respect and honor for Jewish women. Jewish women, believe me, they're the best. They all marry doctors, lawyers, businessmen. The Jewish broads, they're the smartest. Take it from me. There ain't one Jewish woman out there. Hello, Mrs. Levy. Hello, Mrs. Feldman. Hello, Mrs. Schwartz. They ain't married to no f***ing bums in the street. They're married to f***ing doctors, lawyers, accountants, business guys. Believe me, these Jew broads are smart.
However, Mike possessed something more bulbous than his brain or even his big round belly. His greatest weapon was his charm.
But I love big, beautiful women. I love them big, heavy women. You want to know why? They're always in a good mood. They don't give a f***. They walk around with f***ing t-shirts, no bra, with their big titties hanging out. They got no shame. I love them big, beautiful women. They eat like there's no f***ing tomorrow. They don't give a f***. Think about it. This is the big man, the voice of the people.
Mike used his platform to speak his mind on all sorts of subjects, from politics to movies, even ranting about his day. And within no time, Mike found himself attracting hundreds of adoring fans from across the country.
Mamma mia, Malone. I'm getting 100, 200 calls, maybe 300 calls here a day. Everybody calling me up from Santa Monica, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago, Rochester, New York, New Orleans, Louisiana, telling me how much they love the big man. Oh, that's good, because I ain't making a goddamn nickel off this. You know, big man's doing this for nothing. You know, maybe if I become rich and famous, maybe in another month you people got to pay $100 a month to see the old big man. Anyway, the big man's going to become rich and famous, and I'm going to spread that money around like butter on a piece of bread.
What's more, according to an archive of his website from December of 2005, he had even made an appearance on the Comedy Central special Stand Up Nation with Greg Giraldo, although it appears the episode he features on and the show itself are both lost media. Regardless, it was undoubtable that the big man had proven himself to be a big-time personality with show-stopping talent. It appears he mainly used his website to promote his businesses, such as his travel and ticketing company. However, with a rework of his website, he included a tip box, ad space for other products, personalized video email services, and a premium membership service. It was undeniable that making vlogs as a fat, middle-aged Italian man was a very lucrative method of making cash in the early years of the internet. Of course, the big man was a pioneer in an extremely unsaturated market, and it was only a matter of time before he would face his first taste of real competition. On the 28th of June, 2007, a statement was posted to the Kid from Brooklyn website that shook the fat Italian guy community to its very core. We are sorry to inform you, while dining in a New York City restaurant on Thursday evening with his lovely wife Mona, the big man was shot 6 times at close range, execution style, by an unknown assailant. Rumor has it the shooter is affiliated with an organization known as the Politically Correct Police. The big man is lying in an intensive care unit at an undisclosed hospital. As you all know, the big man is always fighting for the truth, and now he's fighting for his life. Stay tuned for more details. Pray for the big man. The Politically Correct Police organization seems to be one of the earliest incarnations of what we now understand to be the woke mafia, a group of deadly stochastic terrorists funded by the Democratic National Committee, as well as various foreign powers, and of course, the deep state. It seems that Mike had made some powerful enemies, though their pathetic cancellation attempt could never take down the big man. However, some speculate that there was more underneath the surface, with a common belief being that the woke mafia had nothing to do with it. Rather, this appeared to be the work of a fellow fat Italian man attempting to usurp the throne.
Oh! Listen, baby. This is the guy from Boston, okay?
TheGuyFromBoston.com was registered on Friday, June 23, 2006, and shortly after its creation, videos were posted to the site on a weekly basis. The similarities between the two websites is undeniable. Both men are of Italian ethnic origin, both are extremely overweight, and of course, the formatting of their website domains and homepages are nearly identical. Even the content itself bears many similarities, with Joe, the guy from Boston, discussing political, cultural, and social topics of a wide variety.
We got kids
Kim Jong, or whatever the his name is, Jolly Chung, Chung, whatever the that was in North Korea, blowing nukes off. And everybody's getting worried that this little prick in this little peninsula is gonna with us. No one's gonna with us. Kim Jong! Get a life, you sucker!
The guy from Boston, despite seeing little success in 2006, began finding more popularity after a handful of mainstream media appearances, such as Your World with Neil Cavuto, as well as The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. While no trace of these episodes can be found online, they are frequently referenced both by word of mouth and in written legal documents. As you might expect, many accused Joe of copying Michael's content, under the belief that there could only be one true and honest fat Italian guy screaming on the internet. However, Joe rejected this notion, believing himself to be the original, and Michael an imposter. The roles that the guy from Boston and the kid from Brooklyn filled proved to be more lucrative than anticipated, and as a result, opportunistic grifters attempted to capitalize on their success. This included other overweight Italian men, such as the guy from the Bronx.
Yo, guy from the Bronx, right here.
As well as another man named Ronald Pellegrino.
Hey, how you doing? Name here is Roland Pellegrino.
Joe felt emboldened to call out these fakes, as they were taking his rightful claim to the fat, retarded Italian guy throne, and promptly called him out for their disrespect.
Today, I got a bone to pick. I'm pissed off! You know what pissed off at? That's right! There's about 5 or 6 of these motherfuckers on YouTube!
He starts off by calling out a man by the name of Brooklyn Ray.
Brooklyn Ray! That 4-eyed Coke bottle wearing little motherfucker. Don't take that Brooklyn Ray. You got one tooth like Coco, Fran, and Ollie, you little prick. And what's with all the cleaning stuff around you all the time? I mean, where the fucking mop, the fucking rake? Stick them up your ass!
Brooklyn Ray appears to be a fellow fat Italian man from Brooklyn who frequently disparaged Joe Ligotti whenever he got the chance.
Hey, you motherfucker, don't f with me, man, because I'm from Brooklyn, and we eat you guys alive in Boston. You hear me, you motherfucker? I'll f***ing wring your f***ing neck, you fat f***. I'll break your ass and f*** you all over, man. Don't tell me no f***ing bullshit that you want to give me any shit. Because the f***ing Boston Sox, they suck. They're assholes. Then don't tell me that, man. That's it. You and you.
Ray seems to have a very well-documented pattern of behavior, in which he starts arguments with other fat, middle-aged Italian men over the internet.
Hey, guy from Tennessee, this is Brooklyn Ray. I want to tell you one f***ing thing. What the f*** are you talking about? You don't even know what the f*** you're talking about. I got one word for you, and one motion. Here, take that, you son of a...
In this video, Ray mentioned a man named the Guy from Tennessee, better known as Tennessee Guy, who is yet another fat Italian man who he has argued with online.
This is the Tennessee guy. You know, I heard something about this Brooklyn fucking Ray. What are you trying to do? Steal the fucking guy from the real guy from Brooklyn's fucking lines and the guy from Boston, you piece of fucking work? I'm telling you. You're a fucking... Was you dropped on your fucking head? You don't even look like a fucking Italian, you fucking piece of fucking shit.
In Joe's video, he also calls out 2 more individuals named Johnny Cadillac and Dr. Pedro.
Fucking Johnny Cadillac, a.k.a. Kid Cadillac, Cadillac Kid, Johnny Lo Mein. F*** you! And why are you always looking behind you like this? What are you, fucking scared? Afraid the fucking head janitor's gonna come by and fucking send you to home? You can't make your fucking fitter for the day, you little prick? And then there's this fucking Pedro. That fucking for that. What are you driving, a fucking trailer, you hillbilly piece of shit?
Not only does Joe have beef with both Johnny Cadillac and Dr. Pedro, but it appears that proxy wars have also been sparked between them in regards to Brooklyn Ray.
Pedro, you fucking Mexican. You say Ray ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna f you up. Just send me your address where you are, and I'll be right over there, Pedro. 'Cause I gotta make a few stops in Beacon, New York, to see my godson, and then I'm gonna come and see you. Okay, Pedro? This is the Cadillac Kid from Brooklyn. Don't worry, you ain't coming after nobody, 'cause I'm already on my way to come after you. You fucking real... You ain't no doctor. You fucking Ray, you fucking me. because nobody f***s with me.
As you can see, this internet beef is much deeper than two fat Italian guys fighting over the internet. Rather, there are nearly a dozen of them all fighting with each other. And also a Mexican guy named Pedro for some reason. Of course, none of these beefs compare to the deep-rooted hatred and tension between the guy from Boston and the kid from Brooklyn, who managed to have a handful of run-ins. It appears that Joe Ligotti first acknowledged Michael on March 28, 2007, although this video, titled "The Kid from Brooklyn," seems to be completely absent from the archives. Oddly enough, despite a clear recount from multiple sources of an ongoing feud, it appears that many videos featuring the two discussing each other have been lost to time. That said, there are a few that remain. On December 16th, the New York Jets football team was set to face off against the undefeated 13-0 New England Patriots on their home field in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Michael had been making consistent appearances on a YouTube channel called Jets Insider, in which he would hype up his hometown team.
Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets!
In anticipation for their Week 15 regular season matchup, the guy from Boston would also make an appearance on the channel, in which he showed support for the Patriots.
Wow, am I excited! You know it! Big Patriots fans. By the way, New England has a football team if you haven't figured it out yet. That's right, the 13-0 Patriots. Next stop, where do you think it is? That's right, the Jets are coming home. Home field advantage, baby.
Despite a relatively poor performance from their 7-time Super Bowl champion quarterback, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., the Patriots managed to win the game 20-10. New England would go on to win their next two games afterward and achieve a perfect 16-0 record, eventually finding themselves in the Super Bowl, where, in a cruel twist of irony, they fell short to the New York City Giants. This was undoubtedly a cold February in Boston for Joe Ligotti, that only became colder when a few weeks later, his entire YouTube channel was suspended for community policy violations. YouTube, in its terms of service, are known for being both convoluted and heavy-handed. However, that's only the modern interpretation. In 2008, YouTube suspensions were essentially unheard of, meaning whatever Joe had done must have been egregious. Joe would post an update to his website a short while later, which reads, "As of February 26th, YouTube has taken down all of our videos. The reason being that one of our videos, Road Rage, has supposedly violated their terms of use policy. This is probably one of our most sedated videos. Have you seen some of the shit on YouTube? Some of the videos on there make mine look tame. Click here to see the video that created all the controversy." The video, titled Road Rage, appears to be lost to media, with no available archives to be found online. As tragic as this is, the ambiguity in regards to what took place in this mysterious video only makes the situation funnier. Joe, of course, would also make a video ranting about the frustrating decision on YouTube's behalf.
Hey, it's Joe Ligotti, the guy from Boston, and I'm f***ing pissed today. Nobody shuts me the f*** up. My First Amendment rights are intact, in full, because I stand in front of this flag and for everybody that gave a drop of blood to the United States service. YouTube took me down because of one f***ing person saying I'm inappropriate. What about the lesbo sucking or the f***ing that are f***ing sucking? This is bullshit. And no one's gonna shut me the f*** down if I gotta go to the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm coming, baby. No one shuts me up, and I have a right to be there, just like anybody else. You pieces of shit!
Joe promised to continue making videos on his personal website and to find a way to continue posting on YouTube. However, uploads to his website became more sporadic, and eventually they ceased altogether. More confusingly, all the videos featuring Ligotti were removed from the website, and shortly after, an imposter took his place, masquerading as the new guy from Boston. While the identity of this fraud is unknown, his reign would be short-lived. With the introduction of this new, presumably fat Italian guy,
About that big space when he saw the gat.
Joe Ligotti began utilizing a new domain, theguyfromboston.net. On the earliest archive of this website, it reads, "Hey, don't worry, this is Joe Ligotti, the guy from Boston, and I am alive and well. Please spread the word around that this is my new home, theguyfromboston.net. I will be here anytime you need a little of the real guy ranting and raving, as I have been doing for almost 2 years, except no cheap imitations. Tune in next Wednesday, March 26th, 2008, around noonish. I will straighten out all this bullshit. In the meantime, believe nothing else you hear unless you see it or hear it from my lips." Something was clearly wrong, with Joe implying that he was the real guy from Boston and warning people of slanderous misinformation about him. It appears that any clarification on the situation would come much later than March 26th. Rather, it would come nearly 4 months later, on July 1st, 2008. Something quite quite clear from the old website, theguyfromboston.com, was the presence of an advertisement for Two Guys Smoke Shop, describing itself as the world's largest cigar store. Well, as it turns out, this was much more complicated than just some random cigar store buying ad space on Joe's website. The Two Guys Smoke Shop was founded by David Garofalo, and in 2006, he conceived a genius business scheme to bring in more customers. Familiar with an individual by the name The Kid from Brooklyn, David thought that having a fat Italian man of his own to yell and scream at people online might help boost cigar sales. This is why Joe is always seen in every video with a fat stogie in his hand. Supposedly, David had already come up with the concept of the guy from Boston. However, when he stumbled across Joe Ligotti, the character itself was officially created. This is what caused the dispute, creation of the new guy from Boston, and subsequent lawsuit between the parties. Joe, as well as David, both sought preliminary injunctions to prevent the other from continuing to use the lucrative The Guy from Boston IP. David's claim to the rights was on the basis that he had come up with the name himself and registered the website. He also supposedly wrote scripts and gave Joe direction when filming the videos. However, it was Joe who would come out victorious in the court system, due to the fact that the character itself was ultimately a byproduct of his own personality. A direct quote from the lawsuit reads as follows: "Based on the record as it stands, then Garofalo is not like the authors who gave us James Bond, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, or any other widely popular fictional characters, to whom he attempts to liken the guy from Boston. He is merely the originator of an idea for the guy from Boston, which, though certainly instrumental to its eventual success, did not come to define it. For his contributions, Garofalo deserves credit, and possibly even a share of all of Ligotti's earnings as the guy from Boston, though the court has not yet been asked to decide that issue. But they will not give him ownership of the trademark. Ligotti v. Garofalo went on to be a landmark in case law, and has been cited many times in other lawsuits. Simply put, this victory was extremely epic. But Joe wasn't done, and David Garofalo was not his true enemy. Rather, there was another old, fat Italian guy that he had yet to deal with: Michael Caracciolo, the Kid from Brooklyn. Despite his lawsuit essentially proving that his place online was born from the success of Michael, Joe was still convinced that he was the original, the one and only fat Italian guy. Guys like Joe take care of business, so he chose to confront Michael on his content theft.
I'm gonna give Mike a call and we're gonna see exactly, what the f***'s up with this. Said I'm a cheap imitation of him, and the Red Sox suck, so I wanna, I'm gonna go right to the horse's mouth. I don't f*** around. Must be jerking off. Probably on the shit. Us big guys like the shit. He gives me a number to call him. The big man. Alright, I can't get him. All bets are off. I'm coming after you, Mike. Here I come, baby.
Unable to reach him on the telephone, Joe opted for the next best thing, a recorded diatribe directed at Michael himself.
Somebody told me that there was a kid from Brooklyn and I was copying him. Absolutely not. I mean, take a look at me. I'm good looking. I don't wear a hat. I'm proud of the hair I got. I actually take the time to wash it and style it. I mean, look, no white beater t-shirts. That's a disgrace to Italian Americans. That's right. I'm an American baby of Italian heritage. You see these teeth, Mike? See these teeth? Mine are all real, baby. You want me? Come knock them the out. I'm challenging you right now. I got an email from you that I'm a cheap impersonation of you. You couldn't shine the back of my balls, you pieces. Boston has never backed down from New York, and you ain't gonna start with the guy from Boston, baby. I can run faster than you. I can better than you. I go out with better looking bras than you. I am a better looking guy than you. I dress better than you. You, Mike. Meet me somewhere. Let's do it in front of the camera, baby. You kid from Brooklyn!
This could be ignored no longer. Joe's vitriolic rant was a line Mike could not allow to be crossed. And so the two set up a date, place, and time for the ultimate showdown.
Hey, that's big man here. I'm wait for that boat. That boat from Boston. Kiss my ass, man from Boston. Kiss my fucking ass. You fucking rat-banded man. I'll rat-banded you. I'll chase you all over the place.
The rules were simple. Since both men were too out of shape to physically beat each other up, they faced off head-to-head in a metric they were more equipped to handle, that being body fat percentage. The first to lose 100 pounds would win the challenge, and the loser would be forced to kiss the victor's naked butt cheeks. Due to their large size, neither man could effectively weigh themselves on a traditional, standard-issue bathroom scale, and were forced to go to a meat deli and use an industrial-grade scale instead, which are typically used for large farm animals such as cows and pigs. Michael weighed in at an impressive 416 pounds, but Joe countered and shocked the crowd by weighing in at 463 pounds, despite being significantly shorter than Mike. During their face-off, the two men pressed their big round bellies together to assert dominance. Although things got heated and the two gentle giants began exchanging blows, the scope of bloodshed, while unquantifiable, was surely insurmountable. Joe sustained an injury to his right eye, which he nursed back to health with a cold slice of gabagool. However, the aroma of the fresh deli meat was too overpowering, and Joe took a large bite out of the gabagool. Michael had undoubtedly won the battle. However, both men lost the war, as neither of them were able to commit to the strict weight loss regimen, due to their diets consisting mostly of high-sodium, carbohydrate-loaded foods. Eventually, their time in the spotlight would fade, and both men would be forced to make do with the ruins of their empire. It appears that Joe, the guy from Boston, struggled to create his typical content without the help of David, who was noted in the lawsuit as the main scriptwriter and director. However, his appearance on mainstream media proved that his personality was truly made for show business. He ran a podcast called The Joe and Huggy Show on Boston Talk Evolution, WTKK 96.6 FM, every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, the podcast appears to have only lasted from 2008 to 2011, with Huggy abandoning him to deal with personal family matters. Fortunately, Joe also managed to build bridges with Fox News, appearing on the program a handful of times.
The guy from Boston, radio show host Joe Ligotti, joining us from...
Well, let me tell you something right now. If I had Mimi in the room right now, I'd shove a donut down her throat. She's a militant, skinny, blonde woman. Very nice-looking girl. But you know what, Mimi? This is intrusion, okay? If you went by BMI... Well, wait a minute now. Give me a shot. What are you going to start doing,
We don't want
Mimi?
the tortured argument of exception. Here's what the reality
Autistic
is.
kids?
This partnership eventually manifested into a weekly segment called Regular Joe's on the Bulls and Bears show. Joe's right-wing tendencies became more and more apparent as time passed. And thanks to his consistent activism, he was even thanked by the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and congratulated on his newest podcasting endeavor, The Answer with Joe Ligotti. Congratulations and good luck on your new radio show in Boston, the place where debate first started to build our democracy. Much success and God bless. Best wishes, Donald J. Trump. Notably, the democratically elected 45th President of the United States misspelled the word success, likely due to his busy schedule and eagerness to get his message out to the guy from Boston. Clearly, Joe managed to find a comfortable corner of the internet where he could continue to thrive for the foreseeable future. However, the same cannot be said about the big man. His health continued to deteriorate, and unfortunately, Michael the Big Man Caracciolo passed away on July 22, 2013, at the age of just 66. Michael's legacy consists of his family, his hard work, lots of laughs, joy, and of course, his beautiful singing for all of us to enjoy.
Anytime I move my finger, lucky me. Can't you see I'm in love?
By 2025, Joe's career had slowed down exponentially, and he too, unfortunately, passed away on June 11th, 2025, at the age of 59. Much like Mike, Joe is remembered for his larger-than-life personality, his optimism, and his big heart. Both men left behind loving families who cared deeply for them and miss them greatly, and an army of fans who will keep their memories and feud alive forever. This civil war of fat Italian men taught us many things, but one truth that stands above the rest is that you can kill the man, but you can never kill the idea.